Hello, 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 hello. Thanks for tuning into the Barbara Cox Podcast. Today's question, do you know your worth? Do you know your worth? A lot of times this question is addressed to women only. Me being a woman, I can relate to self-worth, especially when you're comparing yourself to everything that you do throughout your life in comparison to the things that you know that you are ordained to do. And one of them is to be in a relationship that is a strong, healthy relationship. And a lot of times you find yourself having to say, well, I am worth this. I am worth that. And you have to do that because sometimes you may be put in a position where you're asked to lower your standards or lower your desires and your goals, whether it's a relationship or whether it's dealing with something totally different on a scale where you're having to say, this is not what I signed up to do, and this is not me. This is not what I want to do in my life this season. So you have to sometimes ask yourself several questions. But one of the very imperative questions today is, do you know your worth? You got to know what it is that you desire for your life. This is a new season, and we have to keep going back asking that question many, many times. For whatever it is that you're facing, you've got to ask yourself, is this what I want to do? Is this going to cause me to feel lower than what I am? Is it going to attack my self-image? Is it going to attack the scale that I have in comparison of my self-worth, knowing my worth? I am worth more than this. You deserve better than that. You have to know that question has to be addressed when you're faced in different aspects of your life. Do you know your worth? Do you know, my child, that you are worth so much more than that? So anytime you feel that you are in a position to where you are doing something that is demeaning to you, then you have to question that self-worth. And you have to build yourself up, encourage yourself, lift yourself out of that situation through prayer, through just spending time talking to God, to beginning to realize that there is a desperate cry of knowing what you are worth. You are worth more than that. And then be careful when you do address this question, because some people may think you have higher standards. You have an ideal what you want for your life, and you have to stick to that. Do you sometimes have to compromise only in a way to where you don't feel that you have lowered your standard to the point to where you begin to feel less than where you want to be? And knowing that question is once again imperative. Do you know your worth? I'm going to come back and address this again and again and again and again. Just want to come on very briefly because this question is populated into my mind. Do you know your worth? Because I have to ask myself all the time, and I have to tell myself, Barbara, you are worth more than that. You are worth that. You know, you deserve to be treated in a certain manner. You deserve to be respected. At first, I have to look from the inside out, and I have to discern things, and I have to know that I am worth more than that, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's on a job, whether it's in a church, whatever the setting, whatever the situation, I have to question my self-worth. Do I know my worth? Yes, I know my worth, and I demand it because I want to be at a position to where I can say, this is what I've prayed for, and this is what God has given me, and I receive it. Because you have to pray and believe that things in your life are going to line up with the will of God. And in that aspect, God gives you so much more than what you realize. He knows what you're worth. You have to know what you're worth. You have to know that you are a child of God. You have to know that God is giving you so many blessings, and you have to receive those blessings. And don't ever think that you're less or lower than what you are and who you are. Do you know your worth? Is today's question. Thanks for listening, and thanks for tuning in to the Barbara Cox Podcast. God bless.